There are certain periods in the markets. Everyone talks, but no one is really saying anything. There are headlines, there are charts, there are forecasts, claims, and confident statements about what will happen next. But the real risk is often silent. This is exactly what Howard Marks and Ray Dalio have been pointing to again and again in recent years. Not the dangers that are shouted loudly, but the ones that are ignored, postponed, and uncomfortable to face. This is not a prediction video. This is not a claim that this will happen at that time. This video is about the silent risks where two very different ways of thinking intersect. Two different paths. The same discomfort. Howard Marks and Ray Dalio speak from very different positions in the investment world. Marks focuses on investor behavior. He examines how risk is perceived, how it is misunderstood, and how people make mistakes when faced with uncertainty. Dalio, on the other hand, looks at systems. He focuses on debt cycles, monetary policy, and repeating historical patterns. He studies how economies rise and fall. Yet in recent years, these two different perspectives have converged on the same concern. That concern is this: people are looking for risk in the wrong place. Risk doesn't always arrive. Loudly, markets rarely announce high risk by shouting. On the contrary, risk often grows the most during periods of comfort. Howard Marks frequently emphasizes one critical truth. Risk is not how volatile an asset is. Risk is how comfortable people feel about that asset. If everyone believes the same thing, if no one is asking, what if we're wrong? That is exactly where risk quietly accumulates. According to Marks, the most dangerous periods are those when people are no longer afraid of risk. Dalio's systemic view: risk is structural, not behavioral. Ray Dalio's warnings come from a broader framework. In recent years, Dalio has been very clear about one thing: today's economic environment is not a normal cycle. Debt levels are historically high. Monetary policy is becoming less effective. Geopolitical tensions are no longer temporary, they are becoming structural. And most importantly, the system itself is under increasing pressure. What concerns Dalio is not a single market or a single asset. What concerns him is the growing fragility of the system. Silent risk number 1: false confidence. One of the concepts Howard Marks emphasizes most is false confidence. People too easily believe that what worked in the past will continue to work in the future. If nothing bad happens for a long time, they assume it won't happen at all. This false confidence is more dangerous than risk itself, because false confidence encourages taking more risk, causes warnings to be dismissed, erodes discipline, and most importantly, it creates a habit of being unprepared. Silent risk number 2: a system carrying more than it can bear. The silent risk Ray Dalio points to is different, but closely connected. Debt, by itself, is not the problem. But when debt accumulates at the wrong time and under the wrong conditions, it restricts the system's ability to function. As Dalio has repeatedly emphasized, at a certain point, debt no longer supports growth, it suppresses it. This is where central banks become trapped. Raising rates creates problems. Lowering rates creates problems. Printing money fuels inflation. Not printing leads to stagnation. This pressure is not always visible in the short term, but over time, it destabilizes the entire system. Silent risk number 3: the obsession with timing. Another issue Howard Marks strongly warns against is the obsession with timing. People try to catch the perfect moment instead of focusing on correct behavior. Yet, according to Marks, the most expensive mistakes in investing come from timing errors. Because no one can consistently identify the top, no one can clearly see the bottom, but everyone can control their behavior. The silent risk here is this: people focus on what they cannot control and neglect what they can. Silent risk number 4: using old maps. While the system is changing, One of the most powerful lessons from Dalio's historical analysis is simple. Systems change. Monetary systems, reserve currencies, trade balances, none of these remain the same forever. According to Dalio, the greatest danger is preparing for a new era using old rules. This change does not happen overnight, but when it becomes obvious, it often comes with the thought, I wish I had noticed this earlier. Why doesn't anyone want to talk about these risks? Because these risks are uncomfortable. They don't promise quick gains. They don't offer clear answers. They require living with uncertainty, and people don't like uncertainty. Markets prefer simple stories. This will go up. That will go down. Get in now. But what Marx and Dalio are really saying is this. The real risk is hidden behind these simple stories. What does preparation mean? At this point, both thinkers arrive at the same conclusion: preparation. Preparation is not predicting the future, knowing everything, eliminating all risk. Preparation is accepting that you can be wrong, remaining flexible, not committing to a single scenario. For Marx, preparation means surviving your mistakes. For Dalio, preparation means adapting when the system changes. Why this is not a warning video? Because this is not a disaster narrative. Neither Marx nor Dalio constantly says, a crash is coming. They explain the nature of risk, and that nature tells us this: risk always exists, but not everyone is exposed to it in the same way. The difference between those who are prepared and those who are not is not who makes the most money, but who remains standing. After watching this video, ask yourself this: am I actually thinking about risk, or am I just repeating what everyone else is talking about? Because the shared message of Marx and Dalio is this: risk is not where everyone is talking, it's where no one wants to talk. This video was not made to give you clear answers. It was made to help you ask better questions. And sometimes in investing, the most valuable thing is not the answer, but the right question.